Hey there, y'all. Sundays with Borges is back.
Yes.
Hey, Yasmin.
Hi, Noah.
So this is a
Happy to
series
be
that we
back.
started. Yeah, me too. We started this series um, last year and did a lot of
I
uh,
think it was this year.
beginning of this year. We
Yeah, I
started
think so.
reading Borges maybe, yeah, just in January. I got the book for a
For
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it for Christmas too.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we did one stretch where we went through fictions and some of the Aleph. We're gonna finish up the Aleph and we're going to keep on going. But today is a
Yeah.
story called The Dead Man. It's number 2 in the Aleph.
Yeah.
What a story.
Right?
5 pages.
I really remembered this one. I feel like for some of them I've forgotten a few details, but I really remembered this one. I really liked it.
Yeah, just how Borges does. 5 pages, he does so much, and you're just drawn in. And there's a
Yeah.
lot. I think you've been seeing it too. That once you kind of get a feel for Borges, you pick up even more because
Yeah.
he's concerned with a few things. And with this one, I think one of the things that can be said is there's no honor among thieves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
That
100%.
expression. This is criminals. This is somebody our main character wants to be, um, has this romanticized idea of being a criminal and
Mm-hmm.
goes for it. Doesn't have much else to go for in his life, but is going for that rather than business or making money some other way.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Rather than talk about it, let's really talk about it. What's his name? Benjamin Autolora.
Uh-huh.
um is just a cattle rancher or something like that. He's just a country boy and
Yeah,
he goes,
so sorry to interrupt so quickly, but
no, go ahead.
the word that Borges uses, and I don't know if it's in Spanish in your edition, is compadrito. Is it the same
Yes,
word? Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so I looked it up because I didn't know exactly what it was, but it's apparently a compadrito is apparently a descendant of a gaucho, and we've talked about gauchos in other videos, and it's basically like a South American cowboy or something like
Right,
that. And they live in the city or outskirts of the city or something like that. So right away you get those themes that you were talking about of like honor and manliness and all of that.
right. And well, if he's a descendant, then uh there comes some of the romanticization of it as well, that
Right.
he
He's
wants.
not living the gaucho life, but he has it's in his blood, so he still maybe feels like it's expected of him to act in a certain way, but he doesn't really have the real picture. Yeah.
Right. I get that kind of feeling when I come in contact with that, of like, what's his name? Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, where his whole thing was he wants to go die in a war,
Hmm.
and he feels cheated out of his what he sees is his destiny when Forrest Gump saves his life, because he's like, I'm supposed to die out there, don't you know what my destiny is, because of a line of men in his life, that grandfather, great grandfather, father, that have died in war. What a horrible thing to see as the
Hmm.
highest destiny you could fulfill.
Yeah.
But
No,
but
absolutely.
I think that kind of shows here too. So he gets like a
Hmm.
letter of recommendation
Right. So
after
he
killing somebody. Like, he
he
kills a guy.
kills someone in Argentina. So he's in Argentina. Kills. We're assuming he kills someone. Wait, is he in Argentina? No, he's not. He's in Brazil.
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro. Is that right?
It says Rio Grande do Sul.
Rio
I don't
Grande
know.
do
Yeah, I don't know
Sul.
where that is, but I'm assuming in Brazil. Oh yeah, here it says Brazil. Okay. So
Okay.
he's in Brazil, kills a guy, and then he has to escape the country and go somewhere else. So he goes to Uruguay, And he, yeah, like you said, gets like this sort of letter of recommendation to some guy that lives in Uruguay that could possibly hire him to do
Uh,
something.
Azevedo Bandeira,
Hmm.
Bandera, something like that, right? That's
It's
that's
Acevedo.
the
Yeah, I
that,
would pronounce it Acevedo Bandeira.
that's the big man.
Yes.
Runs a gang of gauchos, some organized crime, kind
Yes.
of not so much, like a mafia kind of thing, but maybe more like a gang, more like a little more low key, but he
Hmm.
does have a lot of money. He has the big houses. There's organization to it,
And a lot of
and he has,
respect.
yeah, and he has an operation, a whole operation. So he's looking for that guy, and he has his
Hmm.
letter of recommendation, and he sees a fight. He's going
Yeah.
around the city that he's looking for him in, Montevideo. Is that it?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
he's going around, and he sees a knife fight going on,
Yes.
and he's drawn to it. It says that he's drawn to danger like this the way that other men are drawn to gambling or music.
Hmm.
So it's just showing his temperament, right? And he
Yeah.
goes there, and the fight stops as quick as it starts. He doesn't know who either of these guys are,
Hmm.
and it turns out that both of them are part of the crew that he's been looking for, and one of them is actually the guy. The
Yeah. So the
the
guy he saves is Bandeira.
Right, and
So it feels
he's
a
not
little bit like destiny at this
right,
point.
but also a setup because these
Yeah.
guys they're not really fighting. One of
Hmm.
them's the head guy, and one of them's like the right hand guy, a training or just a having fun, some kind of dangerous fun, right?
Yeah.
Russian roulette or something like that. It's ridiculous, but he tears up his letter because he
Hmm.
wants it all to be everything that he
Coming from
does to
him.
come from him.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And that
th-
says a lot about him, how proud he is and that how he doesn't want to owe anything to anybody.
and is it like I think, would it have turned out some other way for him if he didn't tear up the letter? Would he
Right.
be
Yeah.
would he be handled the way that he's about to be handled by these
Hmm.
guys?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought of that.
So he gets into it. They go sleep on the patio. They go party. I mean, they're wild asses. They're hotheads that go around and just kind of do their thing. They're cowboys, you know,
Hmm.
but that outlaw kind of cowboy, not a rancher or something like this. They're like
Hmm.
these gauchos are outlaws. So they go around and they're partying, and then he gets a job with
Yeah.
the crew, uh, moving. Is it smuggling? It's smuggling alcohol. Is that right? I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Just the
I can
first
find it
job
right
is
now.
smuggling alcohol. Takes like a year to smuggle this whole uh, shipment across the mountains. Maybe it's something like the mountains down there, the Chilean mountains. I'm not sure of the region or where it's at, but they're smuggling this
Yeah.
alcohol, and he does well.
Yeah.
But then after that, so he's been in the employ of these guys. Time goes by really quick, and he realizes that Banderia has many irons in the fire, and that his main business is smuggling. Being a drover is being a servant, and he's no
Yeah.
servant. This guy is
Hmm.
not interested in being a servant at all. So he decides to rise higher and become a smuggler. One night, two of his companions are to cross a border and bring back several loads of brandy, and he provokes one of them, wounds him, and takes his place.
Hmm.
So
So
this is
he's
how
ambitious.
this is how
Like.
you get ahead in that kind of
Hmm.
life, by wounding somebody and taking their
Hmm.
place. There's no conversation of trying to say, hey, I can do more. What can I do?
Hmm.
It's take it, take it.
Hmm.
Um, After that kind of thing, it moves very quickly to the end of this because, like we said, it's only 5 pages,
Yeah.
and after that, it moves very quickly. He does go and do this, and then
First, he sees Bandera as the symbol of manliness, I think it is.
right,
So he always sees him as this symbol and as this very respected person. Um, and he doesn't want to be below him, essentially.
Right. So he meets this other guy. What's his name? Suarez.
Uh-huh.
Suarez is his right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
Is the is Bandera's right hand man,
Yeah.
and he sees that he has to befriend him. He has to get close to him in order to enact what his plan is, his ambitious plan. And so that's, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just all manipulation. It's all dark manipulation, is all this
Uh-huh.
guy, our main character, is doing this whole story. They receive an order to go up north again. They go and they go to this miserable place called the Psy. And there he's hearing these kind of rumors about a foreigner. He's a
Mm-hmm.
foreigner that is getting too big for his pants, so they're going to
Yeah.
have to take care of him. Well, we see him doing that kind of thing. We're not sure if it's necessarily him that he's talking about, but he sees everything going right, and then he
Mm-hmm.
gets back, and Bandera is not in good health.
Mm-hmm.
He's sick, he's alone, he's doing his thing, he's staying aloof. His woman comes on to our main character, right? And
Yes.
there's just a string of things, these very quick little things.
Yeah, and I feel like that's when he feels desired for Bandeira's wife, and
Right.
also feels like taking Bandeira down. So he gets that urge to get rid of him when Bandeira is at his most vulnerable, which I think it's really interesting because the main character wants to see himself as very brave and the bravest and the most respected and all of that, but he doesn't want to take out Bandeira when he's in good health. He wants to take him out when he's vulnerable. So he's contradicting himself in that way and sort of lying to
Yeah,
himself, thinking that he can be Bandera,
I see
you
that.
know?
I think that's valid too. To show that maybe he's not all that he thinks that he is,
Mm-hmm.
and Borges is showing that. But I also see like an animalistic quality.
Yeah,
The king of the jungle, a lion or a tiger or something, they don't go and hunt the strongest
that's right.
one in a pack. They go after the weak, the feeble. They just
Mm-hmm.
take what they can. This kind of thing. There's no honor. There's no, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter how you do it,
Mm-hmm.
just that you do it. This kind of thing. And I just saw that this kind of like animalistic. Take the opportunity when it comes up. He sees an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity if the guy is in a weak spot. Well, now's the time.
Yeah, and
You know.
also going behind his back, which is what's gonna happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there it says you know, he has a satanic ability to humiliate his interlocutor little by little, step by step, with a combinations of truth and evasions. So there's just this web of manipulations and deceit going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're not given all the details of this kind of thing, but just shown very strongly that this is how it works,
Mm-hmm.
how it's working. And then it says that he is changing the plans that he's given. He's basically just stepping up into the role, seeing that
Mm-hmm.
Banderia is weak and kind of aloof as far as what he can see, is separate from the action. And so he's stepping up and saying, okay, do this, do that,
Mm-hmm.
changing the plans a little bit,
He
all this
tells
kind of stuff.
Suarez what his plan is,
He's
which is a
allowed.
dangerous,
Right.
dangerous thing, but he thinks
It's a
he's so
dangerous.
confident that he's one step ahead.
Right.
And the fact that everything is working out again just
Right.
adds to his confidence. But like you said in the beginning scene, it also feels like a setup because it's all working out too perfectly.
Right. So then there we go. I mean, that's we're just there. And maybe he's been in the employ of these guys for 2 years,
Hmm.
something like that. Gotten where, and everything's just going his way as far as he can tell. And then he's told to come to the door.
Mhm.
of the woman, of Banderia's wife. And
Mhm.
he goes and knocks on the door, and she comes out barefoot and half dressed, as though she were waiting on the knock. And the main guy's there too. Banderia's there too.
Mhm.
And he says, since you and the city slicker here are so in love, give him a kiss so everybody can see. And she goes up and kisses him, crying. And Suarez pulls out a gun and shoots him. And he
It's
sees
such a cool ending.
that he was completely had this whole time. He's been allowed to do all this work.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. He's doing exactly what they want to get done. He's doing it well. He's a go-getter. He's in that position, but they also know that they know what kind of person he is. They
Mhm.
know that at some point he's going to try and take out the
Mhm.
structure, the hierarchy of this crime, organized crime gang, and that ain't going to happen. So they just
Mhm.
use him and let him have
They
it. And he says,
completely use them. Mhm.
"Yeah, I see." He says, "I seen that I've been dead from the start.
Mhm.
That he's just been allowed to do this, and that's it. And it's just." I remembered that story, the end, where Borges gives an end to Martin Fierro's story,
Mhm.
this highly romanticized gaucho, and Borges didn't like that. Borges wanted
Mhm.
to show us what the end of that kind of person is, and the end
Mhm.
of that is being murdered by
Like
somebody
justice.
but somebody lesser than you, or somebody who's just as dishonorable. That's
Mhm.
who's going to that's your end. And here he shows it, um, as well, just really against the romanticization of that kind
Mhm.
of a violent, person.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I agree with you. I really like that comparison to the end. And to Martin Fierro specifically. But yeah, just the whole thing of everything he was living in these 2 years wasn't really real because they were manipulating him and he thought he was manipulating them. It was just all a
right.
game.
Yeah,
So he was living a game. He was playing their game all along. But yeah,
yeah,
no, it's an amazing story.
yeah. And all the twist, Borges does is great with the twist, is great with the reveal at the end, always.
Hmm.
But we see that the manipulation that we thought was being perpetrated by our main character is actually what is being done to him. He's being allowed to,
Yeah.
take on these roles and do this. Suarez was probably telling the headman every single thing the whole
Yeah, he was
time.
making it so easy for them to know because he was telling Suarez everything because he was just so confident.
Right. So
And then it's Suarez who shoots him, which I think is
right.
good instead of Bandera himself. It's like you're not
It's
even
very
worth,
much like,
but he's not even going to kill you. It's going to be his right hand man.
right, the guy that you befriended and got your
Mhm.
closest. It's very noir.
Mhm.
I think this
Mhm.
story is very much a noir. It was not your traditional American, PI, or dirty city noir, but you have the fatal, uh, love interest that never was,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
lies everywhere, and everybody's in it for some other reason, and our main character is, dead from the start.
Mhm.
And
But you
so,
follow him, so you don't really know it until the end.
right. So very cool. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it a lot, and
Awesome.
I think it's a great one to kick off the, uh, Borges Sundays with Borges again. Do you have
Yes.
anything else to say about it, about the
No.
story
No,
itself?
I think that was everything.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think it's a great one to start off with,
Mhm.
um, because we didn't want to start with such a mind blow for the first week,
But that
but the
counts.
second week we're gonna do it right. What do you think?
Yes. Yes, we're doing
The
it.
Aleph.
I'm
We'll
so
go for the
excited.
title story next week, from this, collection, The Aleph, and that's the Hebrew character, the Aleph, Aleph,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of looks like an H if you look up the character.
Yeah,
And
it
it
does.
is a very mind blowing and crazy cool story. I
It
hope
is. I
y'all
remember
check
that
it
our
out first.
discussion of it was amazing, so I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, it's like a quintessential Borges story. I think this is
Oh
what
yeah.
he does the best, is like throw you out into like an infinity, or so just a mind blowing thing that is so
Mm-hmm.
advanced, or is so complex that it just can keep going. And long after you read it, you're just thinking and thinking and thinking, and you know that Borges did all that.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything that you're going through to get to where he's at writing the story from. And it's just like how you know Borges is a genius, like the Library of Alexandria.
Available.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, the Library of Babel. That's right.
Then Lawn.
Lawn. Yeah. Some
Absolutely.
stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Aleph makes me think of. It's
Yeah,
just
no. A lot of people that think of Borges think of it and think about the Aleph. It's probably one of his best stories, I think.
cool. And then we're going to be in the Aleph for maybe a month,
Yeah,
and we've set up,
four or
four
five
other
stories.
stories, three other
Oh,
stories
four
other than
other.
what's
Yeah.
mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The Immortals, which
The
is
Immortal.
a
Yeah.
big one and
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Man on the Threshold, which is one of my favorites actually. I
Yeah.
love what he says there, and I think it's really intriguing how he
Mm-hmm.
handles the characters, like in this, where a character is a symbolic to
Yeah.
the other characters, and just you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what to make of them besides the symbolic form. And
Mm-hmm.
then we were going to do the Captive and the Maiden, right?
Yes.
That's a cool one.
Yes, it is a cool one, especially because when we were reading the Aleph, the collection, we kept referencing that story. So I feel like it's a great one. Like a lot
Yeah,
of themes he uses throughout the collection are used in that one.
yeah, it's very cool, and shows Borges' interest in psychology a lot.
Yeah,
That one,
that's true.
not
That's
so
true.
much philosophy or like just infinity going off crazy in paradox, but just like a human psychological
Mm-hmm.
interests.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
is the writing of the God in the Maker?
No, that's the Aleph.
Is it?
Did we not do that?
I don't think we did.
Oh, we might
Did we
have
do the
to.
writing of the God?
I feel I
We'll
feel
go
like
back. We'll
we'll go back.
see.
I feel like that's kind of like this is here, like we have to do it.
We have to do that one.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I
we
thought
might
maybe
do.
that was in the Maker, because I thought that
No,
was Dream Tigers.
it comes right after the Sahir. No, because the
Nice.
writing of the god is a longer work, and the Maker only had really short ones, like maybe one,
Sure.
2 pages.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, next time then.
Yes.
Next time's the Aleph. So if y'all are down, get to it, and we're gonna blow some minds next week. Thank you, Yasmin.
Yes, thank you. No.
Catch you next week.